It's finally boarding day, and today we're going to take you through the entire process from your house all the way to the port, getting on the ship, and what it is the first thing you should do. I am definitely not going to throw in there how you're going to get there because there's many ways to get to the Disney ships. If this is your first time cruising on a Disney cruise, this will be the best guide to allow you the opportunity to go stress-free, knowing exactly what you're going to be expecting as you get into the port. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go through the entire process from the arrival, from the checking, from the waiting, and then boarding onto the ship. And then we're also going to give you our personal pro tip as to what you should do the first thing you get on the ship. But for right now, let's get this started. So during the check-in process, you picked a port arrival time. That port arrival time is the time that they want you to be at the port. As you know, if everyone decided to go when they wanted to go, everyone would be at the ship pretty much first thing in the morning. They would actually escort everyone off the ship so they can be able to get on the ship even faster. So everyone is assigned a port arrival time, and we always suggest arriving at least an hour before that port arrival time, only because there are times where you can get snuck in a little quicker. And before I even begin, let's remember, this applies for any cruise ship you're going on, whether the Wish, whether the Dream, the Treasure, the Magic, doesn't matter. This process applies to every single one of those ships, regardless of the class. So now that you've made it to the port and you're about to pull in, the first thing you do is you take your luggage and you give it to the porters. The porters will then put your tags on it if you have not put on the tags yourself, and then they will set it aside, and that luggage will then now be in their hands to take all the way to the stateroom. Always remember, if you lose your luggage tags, don't fret. You can easily go to the port, let them know you lost your luggage tag, give them your information, show them your port arrival documents, and they will write out their own tags, and they'll still make it out to your stateroom with no problems at all. Remember, before you give this luggage out to the porter, make sure you keep all your essential documents like your passport, your ID, all the things that you're going to need to identify yourself to get into the ship. This includes everyone in your party, everyone in your stateroom. So make sure that's the first things you leave in your bag that you're carrying inside. Same thing goes with medications. If you are planning on going swimming or waiting on the aqueduct, like this guy always does, make sure you take your bathing suits in that carry-on. Do not allow it to go in with the porter. Same thing with alcoholic beverages, and make sure that if you're bringing a bottle of wine, you're bringing a six-pack of beer, whatever you're bringing, make sure it's on your carry-on. You can check it in with the porter. It has to go through security. If you are parking your car at the port, there's always a parking lot available right at the port. The fees could range. I know Port Canaveral was at one point $19 a day or something like that. The last time we went on the Disney Wish, it was about $80 for the weekend. It was like a Friday to Monday cruise. So make sure you keep that in mind. If you are taking a shuttle, then you got nothing to worry about. Your bag was checked in over at the resort, and it will be waiting at your stateroom because the last time you saw it was back then. Once you get in the terminal, you'll go through the process of having to wait. Again, patience is key. You're going to be waiting depending on what your port arrival time and how fast they're getting the process going through the check-in for everyone ahead of you. Now, through the process of security, it's pretty much the same as an airport. The only difference is when you go through the security and you give them your passport and you confirm your stateroom, that's when you can give them your magic band so they can connect your magic band to your stateroom. So once you get on the ship, your magic band is already active and you can actually use it to open the door, use it to purchase things while you're on the ship. Make sure, one of the biggest things that a lot of people forget, you'll get an email the morning of, it's pretty much a health questionnaire. This questionnaire will ask if anybody's sick, anybody's pregnant, so on and so forth. Make sure you fill that out because you are required to have that done before you go through security. And remember, during this wait time, make sure you download the Navigator app. Make sure you are connected and you're selecting on board. Once you select on board, all the way from the port, before you even make it inside the terminal, you'll be able to see your itinerary. You'll be able to see your rotational dining schedule. What's your first restaurant, second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth. You'll be able to see the list of movies that are going to be available at the movie theater. You'll be able to also see the shows. You'll be able to see pretty much the entire schedule the entire time. And at that point, you can also purchase your placeholder. And at that placeholder, that again will help you out for the next cruise. It's out of the way and you don't have to worry about it. So now that you got into security, now you're just sitting back waiting for your boarding group to be called. Again, everyone's assigned boarding groups and everything goes in that order. They are pretty informative when you are on the terminal. They will talk to you. They will give you all the information you need. They'll keep you updated as to what's going on. And again, there's always that one family of the day, just like they do at the parks. And that family is the first family on the ship. We've never been picked But one day, maybe, hopefully, we get pixie dust and I'm on the ship 30 minutes before I normally am, which again, to me, is 30 minutes. So they called your boarding group. Awesome. Now it's time to get on the ship. Again, one of the greatest moments when you are going on a Disney cruise is those first couple of steps on the ship. As everyone that has gone cruising will know, that fresh smell of cruise ship hitting you in the face as you're going through the door, you can't mimic that anywhere. That first day, regardless of how many times you've been cruising, will have that emotion, like that excitement of as you walk in and everyone's clapping, they're introducing your family name, because remember, give them your family name so they can introduce the entire family as a group as you walk in. The cast members are all lined up clapping for you, making sure they're greeting you. If you look up, depending on what ship you're in, on the Triton class or the Wish class ships, if you look up on the right hand side on the top, you'll be able to see a character will be greeting you, waving, and pretty much if you are on the Dream, the character would also be on that right hand side, but they'll be on a balcony instead of the Triton class where they're all at the very top. If you are going to be on the Magic or the Wonder, they're going to be scattered throughout the second deck, the fourth deck of the ship. You would have to go up the stairs or take the elevator, and they will be up there greeting guests and be able to take pictures, as that atrium and that grand hall is actually a lot smaller and a lot more narrower than the other cruise liners. So before we get to that one thing we do when we get on the ship to get the most of the time that we're getting on the ship early before a lot of people, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody that has been watching our videos. If you have found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, like this video. Let us know if there's a tip we've missed. Let us know if there's better ways to do certain things we did. Again, we are not afraid of letting everyone know what we think, but if anyone has any better ways to do it, please let us know, because we would love to make our experience way more stress-free than we already have it. So now that you're on the ship, now that you're looking around, now that you got greeted, you're excited, you're there, one of the first things we do when we get on the ship, again, we've been on them a few times, but one of the first things we do as a continuous cruiser is we go straight for the sit-down dining, sit-down lunch. We go to the restaurant, we sit down, we relax. There's a lot we're going to be doing while we're on the ship. We want to just take those first few minutes to sit down, have lunch, get waited on by the cast members because they're amazing, but not run around, rush to the buffet, try to find a table, go through all that process. It's pretty hectic. Sitting down in the dining room, depending on the dining room you will be on, it is quiet. You hear the music. It's relaxing. Everyone's talking about how excited they are, but it's not as hectic as it is going to the buffet or going to the marketplace, depending on the ship. So make sure, if you do want to just get some reset time and be able to now coordinate what you're going to do, what your next steps are, go to that dinner, go to that lunch, sit down, enjoy it, and that's when you can plan your next steps without the hectic having to going all the way upstairs, going to the buffet and going through all that process. If you are one of those, like me, that sometimes misses all these onboard activities, all these excursions, all these things that we would love to book, but we never find the time to do it because every time they're available, they're gone. Go to guest services, let them know if you're looking to book an excursion, if you are looking to put a Apollo dinner or Apollo brunch that you weren't able to get while you were waiting for boarding day. Make sure you go to the lounges, because one of the lounges will have Apollo representative there where you can determine whether or not you can get snuck into the reservations and be able to get that dinner or that brunch that you are looking for. If you're looking to add either more money, a gift card, or you want to activate more magic bands or things like that, go to guest services right as you walk in. It's pretty empty. They'll be able to help you with everything you need right before the real rush gets in. If you're bringing little ones with you, the youth clubs are open at this time. Best time to go downstairs after lunch. If you want to go straight as you walk in, most ships, the youth clubs are pretty much in the same area as the entrance of the ship, like the Wish class or on the Treasure. You'll be able to just walk in, and straight ahead as you go through, you'll be able to see the slide. You'll be able to walk down there and start registering your child. It is an open house, so even if you don't have a kid, you can walk through the clubhouses and you'll be able to play. You could be able to hang out and just be a kid for a little bit. Once that's over and once that ship is sailed, again, your ship is sailed. You're not going to get into that club until a sea day or they open it for adults again. But you'll be able to see that on the Navigator app. And again, if you did bring your swim trunks, the aqueduct and the pool are open just until about maybe 2 o'clock, only because that's about the time they start setting up for the muster drill. That's the time they start setting up for the deck party. So you do have an opportunity, if you get in early enough, to hang out by the pool, get the aqua duck or the aqua mouse, and ride that ride as many times as you can, because the lines are pretty much nil. It's pretty much a 5-minute wait, which is, they can't put 0 on it, so they put 5, which means you could just walk on those rides. Around 1:30, you'll be able to get into your stateroom. And once you get into your once they open up the staterooms, you'll be able to walk in. Most times, your luggage is waiting for you. If not, give them some time. There's a lot of people getting on these ships, so give them some time. Be patient. Your stateroom host will be able to walk by up and down, and he'll introduce himself to you, let you know that he'll be the one taking care of you. You can give him any of your, when it comes to the things that you like in your room. Could also let him know which beds to bring down, so on and so forth. So before we end this, here are some pro tips. Don't forget, complete the online check-in early. Get in there as quickly as you can at that midnight time, whether you're East Coast, West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, it's midnight. If you're on the West, midnight East Coast. So remember, it's always going to be the midnight on the East Coast to be able to get that port arrival time as early as possible. Bring your physical documents, even if you have the app, just in case you have an issue with your phone. You want to make sure you're able to show them, or you can have your significant other have all that available. Angie and I would send her the boarding passes on her phone. I have them on mine. So if anything happens, one of us will always have it. But at the same time, it's always good to bring the actual physical document. Make sure you download that Navigator app. If you have a battery pack, bring it with you. You're going to go through it. You're going to be taking pictures. You're going to be doing all this. Your phone battery will go down. You don't want your phone dying in the middle of the sail away party while you're recording or while you're just capturing the memories with your family. Make sure you bring a small battery pack or something to keep your phone alive while you're doing all this. And again, once that's done and everything is set and you're on the ship, just relax. Everything is going to be organized. Everything's going to be done. You're pretty much going to be catered to, and you're going to be treated like royalty by these great cast members. So make sure that you're just relaxing. Just enjoy your time. Do the planning that you need to plan during that sit-down lunch, during that breakfast, during that dinner. Not even the dinner, because dinner you want to enjoy as well. But I'm thinking more breakfast and more lunches. Make sure you're just enjoying those. And then take the breakfasts and take the lunches to plan out your day, so you can spend more time enjoying the day than doing the planning on the run. So those are the best ways that I see and Angie sees to get on a Disney Cruise Line ship without much effort, stress-free, knowing what's going on, and getting the most out of your time on the ship. Remember, if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe. We appreciate the support. And if you have not yet seen the first time checking video, make sure you check that out, because we go through the process of what it takes to check in. It's not the easiest thing in the world. It could be a little nerve-wracking, but make sure you check that out. For right now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.